Hello, hello, hello. I'm gonna give you guys a second, like I always do, to get in here. Alright. How's it going, guys? Sure, this is a subject everybody's been wanting to know about. Has to do with us and how we are creators. I've been in the car for days. Hi, Drew. How's it going? Yeah, you talking about my hair? My mane? Should I brush it? I don't think so. I went 8 months without brushing it. Alright. And I got on my first ever pajama suit. It's the Nightmare Before Christmas. Huh. Alright. So, what we're going to talk about is how they create this shit, or how we create. Not they, but we. We create it all. Alright. What creates the future? A lot of people want to know, how is the future created? Well, if you know energy, then you understand that energy is how we manifest, right? So we manifest through our subliminal mind because it doesn't know, like I said, truth or imagination from reality. So when we manifest co-creative together through subliminal messages that they put out there for us to manifest, we're going to walk into that. So what are the platforms that they utilize to help us create the future? Those platforms are TV, radio, music, social media, newspaper, magazine, any kind of media outlet that goes to millions of people at one time. Because the majority rules, as I've told you. Whatever the majority, 51%, believes in, that's what we receive. So they get these messages out to the majority, and then that's what we get. Kind of like they start a storm, HAARP can start a storm, and then give it to us through the media and all the platforms, and tell us, this is going to be really fucking bad, you should believe it, believe it, believe it, believe it, and then it turns into a really bad catastrophic event. Now, if we turned off all of these things, now I'm not saying turn off social media, it's a great platform to use. Actually, TV, social media, radio, all of these things are beautiful platforms. We can use them to create what we want instead of what they're feeding us. See, okay, scientists, they've already told everybody there is no global warming. They are fearing you into that. Why would the government want to fear you into believing in global warming? Ask yourself that. Why would they want to fear you into it? Well, they have an agenda. And in this agenda, these things have to happen. There has to be this global warming and these catastrophic events. Now, what people don't realize is these catastrophic events are created by our own mind. And this storm in particular was the one that I fought the most with my own knowing on. Because I'm like, no, I want to save some lives. And no, you're not supposed to even fucking feed it any energy or attention or pay it any attention whatsoever. And I was feeding it because I was trying to stop it instead of using my mind, how I knew I was supposed to not even put any emphasis or anything whatsoever towards it. So we starve it out. They want to continue this agenda. So what are they going to do? Like this right here. They take Irma and they run it through the Caribbean islands and they demolish everything. So before it even gets to the United States, everybody's freaking out that this is going to be the most catastrophic event that's ever happened. And then they push everybody to leave the state. And then they've got everybody fearing this. And then the water gets sucked out. You know, there's a bunch of different things that could go on or that are happening. But the thing is, when we're talking about, and I was even looking at the pole shift. Now, looking at the pole shift, I still have to realize that the pole shift doesn't exist unless we believe that the pole shift exists. And they are counting on our belief to have that happen. If we don't believe in it, then it's not going to happen. If we don't focus and pay attention to this media, it's not going to happen. If we walk outside of our door and we look at what's going on instead of what they're feeding into our face, into our fears, then we actually see the truth. So what do? We take these platforms, TV, create amazing TV shows. You've got all these movies and they're like, oh, they're telling us something. oh, this movie predicted that, or this show predicted that. No, we created that through the masses, through co-creation, through subliminal messaging, through putting it in, because our subconscious can't tell the difference, as I've told you guys. If you're imagining it, the subconscious, thank you, Drew. If you're imagining it, the subconscious doesn't know if it's fiction or reality. So when you are imagining it, it's already trying to cook up some reality for you. Now imagine if you can manifest in your own life, just in your dominion, right? You can manifest there anything that you want, and you already know that because you're a manifester. You deal with energy and you understand what you think about, you bring about, right? Now think of it on a major scale. Come back away from yourself and look at all of Earth as one energy entity, and think of it from that standpoint. Now, if you were looking down at a bunch of energy and all these beings as energy, and you wanted to manifest something, then you would put something out there to where it reaches the most people at the same time. Now, so they're putting out all this fear-mongering with weather, division, hate people, hate. Everybody hates each other. Nobody's realizing that they don't. And then they hate each other because they saw some hate on the news about hate, and they didn't, and then they fed into that, and now they've got a problem with blah, blah, blah said this, or whatever it is. So it's just, it goes from one thing to the next, and we're feeding it the entire time. So create TV shows that have amazing things, amazing outcomes coming. Create radio shows that talk about the good things in life, how it's the happiest day ever and how everything is going to work out for you. Create newspapers that talk about the good news in the world, not the bad news. Create music that writes about good things that you want to experience instead of like talking about shit that you don't want to experience. Do independent research. But here's the thing about independent research. Here's the thing about any research out there whatsoever, and why we cannot write a book and it be solidified as that is just the all in all. Because everything that you create in this world is expanding. So the moment that you find something, you research and you find something, then you're going to find something else that denounces that, and then something else that denounces that, and then something else that denounces that. It's never ending. You're always going to expand upon what you have found. So you can't even write about history anymore. That's the thing. We have to shift out of this so-called matrix thought that we have, where we're inside this system that they've created for us to live in, and go into the manifesto. And the manifesto is a place that we create. Like I'm talking about, we got to be like kids, paint pictures on top of this shit. They're throwing it in our face, wanting us to create it, and we're just like, yeah, I'm gonna write this instead. This is what I'm having happen in my reality instead. That may be your reality, but that's not mine. As long as we don't feed into that together, then we're not creating this. They're going to put all this stuff out there, and they're going to put it out there where the masses can see it. This agenda that they have to have global warming for that to play out. How do you have global warming in a place that has no global warming? Until you believe in it, you put it out there to the masses to get them to believe in global warming, and then what happens? We get the effects of it. All the storms, all the chaos, everything. Everybody's freaking out talking about this agenda, how it's going to go, how they're going to throw us in martial law, all of these things. Well, think about it. As long as you're not panicking, as long as you're not feeding it, as long as you're not paying attention to it, then you're not creating it, and it can't happen. Because it's based on our creation. Does this make sense? Hey Cindy, hey Francisco, hey Rachel. So that's, I see you. So that's what we have to do. We can't feed into it. What's going on, Alfred? We have to direct our focus, what's going on, Rachel, away from it. Like, literally turn up, until we have some shit on TV worth creating, that we're watching, that is worth us living, we need to turn this shit off. We need to quit feeding our subliminal mind with all of this shit. How many times are we thinking for ourselves and doing for ourselves? Or are we just panicking because of what we saw? Like, even myself, I was seeing these images and I'm just like, what the fuck? Looking at all of it and I'm just like, okay, I'm going to figure this out. And midway through it, I'm like, why am I trying to figure it out when I can manifest over it? Like, I don't have to deal with this reality. This doesn't have to be my reality. Just because the beach disappeared from where I live at, that doesn't have to be my reality. Like, and if you think about it, and the fact that, yeah, me too, Rachel, years ago. The fact that, okay, within where we are, oh my God, don't even get me started, Alfred. Please don't. Alright. Shit, you made me forget what I was gonna say. Fuck. Where we are. I hate you now, Alfred. I had a point. Damn it. Oh, bear with me. Fuck, it's gone. I don't know. All I know is, oh yeah, where we are, we have, shut up. Where we are, we have this ability that I call it the I am ability. And that's because I am is I am, because we are I am, all of us, and we are I aming ourselves into where we're supposed to be. I know this sounds crazy as fuck, people that don't know me and what I've been teaching and all this shit, but alright. So we have the I am ability. And within it, we can create whatever we want. And damn it, I lost my thought again. Oh my God. I'm blaming it on you, Alfred. Alright, we have the ability to create anything here. Oh, I hate you. I hate you right now. Fuck. Alright, fuck it. Fortunately, you know me. It sucks though when I have a thought and I had a point and it just ran away from me like that. We have ability to create whatever we want. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to try and talk myself back into what I was trying to say. I'm glad you guys are laughing about this shit. Oh my goodness. I know, he fucked me up really bad. He shouldn't have never brought that subject in there. We don't have to turn it into religion. Everybody turns shit into religion. That's what I'm trying to say. Is if you find, okay, here's another thing I'm trying to say. If you go after, if you seek within yourself to find God, you're going to find one God, not a bunch of different labels of God with perspective of what everybody thinks God is. But you will find God. You will notice God in everything. Whenever, like I was saying in my last video, whenever something walks up to you, somebody walks up to you. Like that day that I did that live broadcast. Yes, Scott. Good to see you here. I'm glad you got some rest. Yeah, Scott, we're not going to allow it to go down like we can see it starting to go down. See, that's the thing, is those of us that have been doing this research and knowing all these things that the government is trying to put in your head and get you to believe so that we can all walk that shit. We're tired of walking it with you just because you want to believe it. We don't want to believe that shit. We don't want to do that shit. We know better. We know that we are creating every bit of it. We know that it comes from us, so why we don't want to be forced down that path with you guys to believe this chaos and bullshit that is non-existent until we believe it. We all know this as creators, and I know I've said this over and over again, but we, having the I am ability, being I am, we can just say and believe whatever we want, and that's what we're going to manifest. That's what we're going to have. We don't have to just take what they're force feeding us, is what I'm saying. Let go of these media platforms that are feeding you bullshit, negative energy, fear, mongering the shit out of you. Get it out of your life. And focus on the good things coming, the things that you want to experience. We have to come together in unity, and not in a way of sitting there holding each other's hand and telling each other I love you, I mean, that's all good and well. You know, I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. But unity within, the deepest form of unity there is, period. And that's on a cellular level. That's where people all over the world are doing the same things without even knowing each other. They're unified in action and in movement. Going after their dreams. Going after what they want to experience in life. And then we've got the rest of the people that don't understand their energy, and then they're bitching about the people that do, who are getting to live their dreams and not understanding that they're not living their dreams because they aren't recognizing their energy. And then by them bitching about the people that are living about their dreams, they're still keeping themselves away from realizing their own dreams. Same with a storm. When they throw the storm out there, first it goes, all right, let's manufacture this storm. This is the thought process behind it. Like, I can read, if you're looking at it as the government and them doing something to you, and you're looking at it as a tactic to overtake the world, then you kind of understand where they're coming from and why they're doing the shit. So they go through HAARP, let's create a storm. And then they send that storm out there. What's next? The media. They send it to the media, and what does the media do? They over-dramatize everything. And they give you images that aren't real sometimes, and they fake fucking shit. I saw it just this morning, CNN faking a rescue. So they do all of these things, and what are they doing? They're adding to the energy field. And they're creating more and more energy towards that, giving it more power. So what's going to happen to the storm? It's going to get more and more powerful. If you're, let me talk about it in the form of a protest. Think of yourselves as your energy selves, and you have a subject or a matter that you want to change in the world, that you don't want to see anymore. And you go out and you protest, and you're like, we're going to all come together, and we're going to tell them how much we don't like this shit, and they're going to hear us. They don't care. They realize that when you come together in your anger towards them, you're feeding them more power to exist and have power over you. So go ahead and keep doing that, is how they feel about it. They know that you're energy beings. They know that how it all works in here. And that's all I'm simply trying to do, is just to make you aware of how it all works so that you understand what they're doing to you and how to stop them from doing it to you. So when you go to protest, think of it, say, look at the United States as a map. In your mind right now, and then look at little dots of light all over the map, and that's you. Each one of them is a person, right? Now it's glowing a little bit all over. There's light everywhere, okay? And then think, okay, now in this one place, everybody's going to come together, and then all this energy is coming in there, and it's shining bright. You got this big energy field, and everybody's screaming about how they don't like this, they don't like that. They're protesting, fighting, whatever. And then after it's all done, you went and fed the beast, and then you dispersed back to where you were, and then the lights go dim again. And that's what you're looking at. Now what I'm trying to do is show everybody how to brighten that light where you are without having to come together to make the light bright, feeding them with a negative way. Because you are making the light brighter with negativity by doing so. But if you are just yourself and you are making yourself self-aware, self-responsible, and love yourself, then you are making your own light brighter. And then you're making it bright everywhere. Not just when you come together and not just feeding that beast that they are. Now you're making yourself the power. Not them. That's the way that I look at all situations. Through energy. Because when you start looking at the shit by what they're showing you on the news, what they're feeding you, putting it into your mind, that's when you start getting confused. That's when you start thinking that it's outside yourself. That's when you stop realizing that you had the power to create it and to make it go away. Anyone that is not aware of themselves or their power right now, they have absolutely zero idea of what I'm talking about. And that's okay. But the ones that do, those are the ones I'm talking to right now. You all know your power. Now we've got to come together with some kind of agreement. We can't just sit here and keep letting the world divide us from each other. We've got to awaken a mass consciousness all over the world so we can drop these borders in this bullshit. Why do you think they separated us for so long? So they could feed us all this propaganda and keep us away from the truth and from each other, because we're more powerful together, unified in what we're doing. Hey, Paulina. God is energy. It's the system. The energy is a construct within the system. That's where people get kind of lost in it. Because you have a system that plays out, that you are working within, and it has its construct that's already built. Cindy, you don't. I mean, you don't go out and just say to someone, hey, you need to listen to this because this is how it is. No, you don't do that. You just speak your truth. Speak it on your Facebook Live, speak it wherever. But don't, that's why, because you're trying to tell people that don't want to hear it, that mind are closed. You can speak it to those people that already know these things. But you can speak it on your social media. That's one thing I love, is speaking on the social media, because it plants seeds, and then you don't have to water those seeds. They just get watered as they go. They're going to run into things that water them and help them grow. You don't have to worry about it at that point. So just speak your truth, plant your seeds, and keep going. Don't sit and try and force somebody to drink the water. They're not going to do it by being forced to drink it. They'll drink it by their curiosity, by their need for nourishment. They'll get to that point. So don't worry about that. How can we awaken a mass consciousness? Keep spreading positivity. Keep talking about what you want to create. Keep creating things that create good things. If that makes sense. Create things that create good things. So if you're wanting to discuss the news, go out. I dare these independent researchers and people that are putting out these news. Exactly, Scott. I dare you guys to go out and find the people that are doing some good shit in this world, that are actually changing things, and report on what they're doing and bring that back to the public. And just keep doing that. Go get the positive that they're doing, the good things that they're doing to make this place better for all of us. And keep reporting that. Keep showing the world the good things that are already here, because all they see is the negative that's here right now, that was here. That they're still trying to fearmonger us into believing is still what our world is. Our world is not this chaotic, evil place that everybody thinks it is based on what they're being fed into their mind. So, if you are an independent researcher or a journalist, go out and find the good shit and bring it back. Show the people. That's what they need to see. If you are doing TV, you're writing a TV show, realize that your words are literally writing the future, because the moment that you write this shit, you are now putting subliminal minds. We all have to get used to this construct and know that it is there, and understand that the subliminal images that are coming into our mind are helping us create the future. So it's not a bad thing if we're creating these beautiful plays that we want to see play out in our life. So whenever we have screenplay writers, movie writers, TV writers, all of these people that are writing scripts for these things that they want to put out there, realize your power. Musicians as well, when you write music, realize your power and what you're doing to the public through your work. It's not just about you. It's not just about what you created. What are you creating? What are you helping the masses create through your work? So when you're writing these things, you need to take that into consideration. Okay, well, if I want to write a story, do I want to write a story about the end of the world and put that in people's minds and have them fearing this shit for the next 20 fucking years? Or do I want to write a story about triumph, about love, about whatever it is that's good, and then do it that way? What's going on, Jeffrey? Rachel, I've already got the shit lined up. If anybody wants to be part of it, it's already ready to go. I just need some journalists that want to go and run this page that I've already put together. It's called the Good News Channel. I've had it since last year, waiting on this moment. So anybody out there that wants to start writing some good news and take over the bullshit media, come to me. Let's get this shit going. So anything that you are writing, pay attention. Anything that you are reading, pay attention. Guard your mind. Don't allow just anything into your mind, because it's going to manifest. It's it's funny because you can only see what you believe you can see. People are like, well, I saw aliens, and no, you did not. I don't believe in aliens, and I've never seen an alien. Well, of course, I believe in aliens, and I've seen an alien. Of course, that's how it works, guys. Whatever you believe, you're going to see and receive. Please understand this. Because that is how we're going to stop all of this shit from happening. That they have this agenda that they've been feeding our minds with forever. We can make all of their work, all of their preparation, all of their bullshit futile and non-existent. They won't have any power. If we just focus in another direction, we paint over top of this shit. I was reading a quote by Rockefeller. It said, all we needed was one major crisis for the masses to accept the New World Order. Well, I say, all we needed was one crisis, one major crisis, for the world to accept its true power. Your true power, your divine self, your God-realized self. People talk about, you're not God. I'm not calling myself God, you dumbass. That's not what I fucking said. I didn't say that I was God. I said that we are God. We are part of that creation. How does that not register to you? How do you not feel that you are praising God by saying that you are part of God creation? How does that make any fucking sense in your head? I don't understand that shit. How are you gonna sit here and say, I can't even go on, god damn it. See, I had to take a deep breath on that one. I'm not even gonna finish that shit. I am so not gonna finish it. But seriously, guys, when I talk about the system of God, all this shit that these beads, this right here, my hand, this ring, these clothes, this car, all of it is God. It is all God. Alright? Because God is the system, God is the code, God is all of it. And it works in particular ways. Like if you have a desire, then the system of God is going to throw you into circumstance. And you've got this person over here with a desire, this person over here with a desire, and they had the same desire, and they can't get to the hub of alignment where they find the other people that are over here that had the same desire that come into there, and then you find your team, right? So you've got these two people that desired something, and then the God system kicks in and is like, okay, well, you wanted this, so I got to throw you in this, 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 and this, and this until you get to here. You got to learn all this shit. You got to know all this shit before you get to that point. Alright? Also, whenever you are creating your divine timing, you are creating your purpose. When you talk about God's will is the will you give God, because God responds to you, it doesn't give you anything. There's no purpose path. There's no will that was created before you. The will that you get is the will that you declare. Okay? It's a response system. And it's only waiting on you to utilize it and respond to you. That's why people say they prayed for a miracle and nothing happened. Because you're asking for you're asking, please give me something, instead of believing that it is already yours and you are already it. When you believe that it is yours and you are it, then it responds to you to give you that thing that is you, that thing that you are it. Until then, it cannot give you anything. Until you make a decision with clarity. You have to be clear, because the way the God system works is if you give it uncertainty, it gives you uncertainty and chaotic events in your life. And then you're sitting there like, what the fuck is going on? Fuck my life. I don't understand this. Why am I going through this? You weren't certain. You didn't know what you wanted. Most of you don't even know who the fuck you are, much less what you want out of life. So you have to be certain about it. That's part of the system. Another part of the system, building your belief. Now, how do you build your belief? You're going to have things play out in your life. These signs that you see. Like, some people have a black cat cross the road and they're like fucking Xing out in front of them, freaking out. There's a black cat and there's just gonna be some stupid shit about to happen to me. Of course there is, because you believe that. And you've probably believed that for so long in your life that it's now a subliminal thought. It's first nature, not second nature. So when it's something is first nature in the subliminal, it's the whisper thought, it's the one that the God system is listening to, it's the one that you receive. So, like me, one of my constructs that I built within the system that I didn't know that I had built until I figured out how you build them was that everything waits till the last minute before I get what I was trying to get out of the situation. Whatever I was waiting on to happen, it always goes to the last fucking second. It's like, and I like, the last broadcast I did when I was sitting in Starbucks, I'm sitting there like, alright, this is gonna be the last second before something happens. And I'm just sitting there waiting, knowing that right before it closes, God was gonna show up. And that's what happened. Literally 30 minutes before it closed, God showed up. And when he walked up to me, I said, hello, God. And I knew exactly what it was, because I'm not saying that he was God like that, but he was part of the creation of God, so therefore he is I am capability. Who is I am? I am is God. What can you do with I am? You can declare your entire life through I am. I am sick, I am well. I am happy, I am sad. I am mad, I am joyous. I am jealous, I am confident. You know, you determine which direction you're going on that seesaw. You pick that out yourself. You're using the system for that. And it's working 24/7, whether you want it to or not. And it's serving you, because that's what it was created to do, was serve you, your every wish and desire. Alright, Jeffrey. Send me the time and I'll be there. News channel. Yeah. I'm Rocky. Yeah, like, declare your life. Go stand in the mirror, guys. Don't take my word on it. I'm not telling you anything that I read. This is shit that I did. This is shit I noticed. This is how it works. And I started taking what I noticed and going, okay, well, I'm going to try that again. I'm going to try that again. And then I started to realize that was exactly how it worked. And it kept working that way. So, like, you're creating your belief system. They put all of these things inside of you. And what happens the moment that you get something inside of you? You get this new car you want to buy, right? You buy this new car. Nobody had that car until you bought it. And the moment that you bought the car, you notice everybody around you has this damn car, and you're like, fuck, what? I never saw anybody with this car until I bought it. Because now you're paying attention to that car. Now it's in your mind, so now you're going to see it. It's going to come back often. You're going to see it. So what do? They take images, they take things, and they put them in your mind so that you start to see them more and more and more and more, because you are creating it. And then what happens? It goes into first nature from second nature. That's the way that this works. It's the way it goes into the mind. They know this shit. That's why they use it against you. Yeah, Jeffrey. I'm ready when you are. So we gotta come to a place of unity. Unity with self. Because that's where it all begins. It all begins within and ends within. So imagine if, very powerful words right there, like abracadabra. Imagine if everyone realized who they were and what they were capable of. And they took their power and used it in a way, the same way that they use it against us. We turn around and do the same thing. So that means we need to be in every social media, every newspaper, every magazine, every radio show, plays, TV shows, movies, everything. And I don't mean going and getting inside of the ones that are already created to do the opposite of what we're trying to do. I mean, create them. I already have mine. I've already jumped in every industry, and they're going. They're on the roll. They're on the roll coming out. You're going to see them. Join me. Do the same. What do you want to see? I always say this. Because we get so focused on what is right in front of our face. Even I do it from time to time. I find myself getting caught up in that shit, even knowing better. I fight with my own knowing. Cause don't think I'm perfect. Don't think that you're perfect. Or that you're going to get it right every time. You're not going to. But every time it presents itself in your life is an opportunity for you to show yourself what you know and what you're capable of. And standing in your own knowing, not standing in what a knowing somebody else put inside of you. Those of you that stand in your own knowing, what happens when you do that? When you stand in your own knowing, what happens? I bet you I can answer it for you. You become confident. Very, very confident in who you are and what you know. And nothing that the outside world could put in your head can change that. Jeffrey, I don't know what you're talking about. This is why I put all these things out there for you guys. Look into it. Do your research. Actually, the only reason that I wanted you aware of it is so that you could see for yourself what they're doing to you. Because when you know what they're doing to you and then you realize you're an energy being, you can connect the dots on how they're doing it. It's not rocket science. It's fucking simple. Consumer beings consuming beings. We are the ones being consumed. And nobody knows it. Some do. Some know it. They know their energy. They know what they're creating. They know how powerful it is. I watched a tumor be chanted out of a woman last week. Yeah. Be completely chanted out of her in 3 minutes. 3 minutes, a tumor was gone. Without a bit of surgery, without a bit of any kind of medicine, nothing. You know what those doctors did? They believed that they were sitting in front of a woman that had nothing wrong with her. They believed that she was completely healthy. That's what they felt. They emitted the vibration of perfect health upon her while chanting the same way. And within 3 minutes on live screen, it was gone. That's what I want you guys to realize. Your power. We all have that power. Why do you think they don't tell us that? Why do you think they enslaved us? Why do you think they separated us? They don't want us to know this. Yeah, Jeffrey. That's how it works. When I was at Standing Rock, I did the same thing. I was like, you know what? I've been seeing this active vortex. You know, I realized something when I was at Standing Rock, that it was an active vortex, same as the Bermuda Triangle. These people are fearful of these places that are active in energy. Alright? When you activate, alright, inside the earth, there's tones of frequency, love, peace, prayer, unity, intention, all music, all of these things, right? So if you go outside the earth and you put those same frequencies out there, you match the inside with the outside. Now imagine if you match the inside of you with the inside of earth, and then that matches on the outside with your interactions and everything around you. Imagine how magical life would be. When we were at Standing Rock, we'd speak, and within 5 minutes, whatever we said was standing in front of us. Sometimes within 45 seconds. We didn't need a phone. You just imagine somebody in your mind, and they're standing in front of you, and you take off walking, and there they are. We have... So that night, before I left, I put out a call. It was like midnight. And I'm sitting in this dome, and I'm like, I wonder what'll happen. I'm going to put out a call. And it was a call of love. And see what happens. And I shit you not, within 15 minutes of me doing that, Jacob, I don't know if he's watching, he may be watching right now, may pop up later, but He come running from the other camp. It was a 15-minute run at midnight from Osekti Sakawan. He ran all the way to the dome and just starts beating on the tent. And I'm like, who is it? And he said, Jedi Jake. And I'm like, okay. He said, I came to play music. And I let him come in, and he said that he just had the feeling, the pull, the call, and he took off. It's the same call that all of us felt when we went to Standing Rock, when LaDonna put the prayer into the fire, and she sent the call to all of our hearts. We all felt it, and we all answered. That's how it works. So it's time that those of us that know this and understand this, put out a call. Call out to our brothers and sisters in light that understand these things, that understand their energy. It's time we create all of these things. They're using these platforms to create the future. So let's take back our future. Let's not leave it in their hands anymore. Because that's what we've been doing. I don't know about you, but I want to live some cool shit. I don't want to be in fucking drug wars and all this shit that they're creating for their agendas. What, like, why? Why do I want to live that? Why do you want to live that? You know that's what they're doing. Turn off your TV, please. Just till we can get some shit created. Then you can turn it back on. But turn it off till we create some shit that's worth watching, that's worth putting in our mind, that's worth creating in our reality. Don't feed them anymore. If you see the news on social media, unfollow it. Seriously, unfollow it. You see negative people in your news feed? I used to be like, oh, I'll help them. Now, first time I see you spewing negative, I gotta go. Because I have to guard what I'm creating, because I know how powerful I am. And that's not to denounce anybody else. That's just when you know that you are a energy being. It's that somebody said, I'm self-made. Well, here's a news flash. We're all self-made. Some of us are just aware of what self is making. And others aren't. They have no clue. But we can't go down there to them to show them what they're making. We can just continue to make what we're making, and they will rise up to join us in making these beautiful experiences and situations. I could say this 1,000,000 times over. That's how it works. You are allowing it to feed your mind, feed your fear. I allowed it to do the same thing, not going to anymore. It's done. Over. At this point forward, we are just focusing on what we want to create. Not what we want to fear. Just take everything you know about yourself as a creator, right? And take it to a broader level. No, I'm not. I'm not in one place. I'm all over the place. For a reason. Stagnant is strife. Movement is life. Keep moving. Keep creating. You guys were not put here to do the same thing day in, day out. Man, read your book. What book? Your book. What do the pages say that you've wrote this year? Are they the same shit over and over again? Or are you rereading the same story every day? Same schedule, same events, same drama, same people, same place, same time. Is that your book? Do you like reading the same fucking book every day? 'Cause I don't. I want every page of mine to be different. Alright. I'm done rambling on. I think I'm gonna walk around with my pajamas on. I love you all. Today is the best day fucking ever. Oh, and by the way, Irma was a bitch. Like, that was such a lie when it come up here. I was in the eye. I was under the eye as far as the radar goes yesterday, and barely even a twig on the fucking tree moved. That's why I'm just like, nah, this is something else. So, anyway. Happy best day ever. Tomorrow's gonna be even fucking better. Don't believe me? Declare it for yourself and watch it happen. Alright. Mwah. Love you guys.